Hello there. This is Elizabeth, and I'm over here in my art loft. I was asked by someone in a group that I'm in Facebook if I would show how to make a certain envelope that I've made recently. This one I learned on Pinterest. I usually just watch and rewatch an envelope until I get it. So the first thing you have to do is to make sure that your paper is square. And to tell if your paper's square, you can fold it diagonally. And if your points come out perfect at the ends, once you have these 2 points put together, then your points come out really nice and pointy, then you probably have a sheet of paper that is actually square. If, however, they don't, then you probably don't have a square piece of paper, and it's going to be much more difficult to fold this envelope. So the first thing to do is to make sure you have a square piece of paper. Usually in origami, you will want a square piece of paper because most of the folds rely on the fact that it's square. If it's not, I've got all kinds of things on my desk today. If it's not square, it's going to come out a little wonky. Okay, the first thing that we do is fold it diagonals, and if you don't want to do this, if you don't want to have extra folds in your piece of paper, you know, like the back of the envelope is going to have, you know, these folds here. If you don't want those, then what you can do is simply draw yourself a line from corner to corner. You have to have a longer ruler that will actually fit from corner to corner, obviously. So I'm going to do that on the second time. I'm going to do this envelope actually twice in this one session because it is a little confusing in some places. The first thing that you do is to fold your corners, the opposite corners, to the middle on only 2 sides. And I always leave just a little bit of a gap because I know that this thickness of this paper, this is not origami paper, it's scrapbook paper. I know that the thickness of this paper excuse me, will make it so that those gaps could come together if I fold any more this direction, but you don't in this case. So the next thing is that you'll fold this tip somewhere close to the line that would be if you had folded this down. Okay, it doesn't have to be exact. It can be a little lower, it can be a little higher. It really doesn't matter at that point. So I'm just going to fold it here, kind of an arbitrary place to fold it. If you want to fold it exactly to where that is, you can do that also. Okay, so we have these 2 folded so that they meet in the middle, and then this one folded so it meets approximately the line that these 2 points here would meet. Now, do I have that far enough away that you can see all this? Why, yes, I do. Okay. So now we're going to do the hard part, which isn't really that hard. Now we're going to take this edge and fold it so that this point meets there, and this is folded along this fold that's, you know, that we. Okay, so we folded this up. So now we're going to take this edge and fold it along there. Okay, and we just extend that fold all the way out, and hopefully you'll get it about even, so that this width, actually the width at this end, should be the same as the width at that end. And I don't have that very well, so I'm going to refold that just slightly. Give it a little, roll it a little more onto that. Okay, then we unfold that and do the same on this side. So this edge here, beyond this fold, here's the fold. We're going to put that to the fold, and then we're going to extend that on out. Okay, and your creases you should have the meat. See where this diagonal fold came? Those 2 creases should meet at the same place on that diagonal fold. They may be a little further up this way or a little further down that way, depending on how much you folded up here. Okay. Now the other thing we're going to do is we're going to use that fold that we just made, and we're going to take this edge and we're going to fold it along there, but only from this edge here to the fold that is here. See this fold here? Okay. So on the other side, we're going to take this edge and fold it along this to match this crease that's here, but only from the edge, from the edge of the paper to the fold that's right there, the first fold that it comes to. Okay, that fold that's there. See how that works? Then we'll take this point and fold it down so that it meets the two folds, the one that comes there and the one that comes there. And it should be exact, right in the middle, diagonally, right there. Come on, you. Okay, and it should meet, and it's not doing it perfectly, with the things that we have here. See, if we look at those, they should have little corners there. And I know I've got a little bit of gap there, but I like to leave that. Okay, so now we're going to take and open this up, and we're going to have this lay down flat. Then when we close this, it will close over the top of it, and you can see that fold right there. So we open this up, we lay this down flat. We're not worried about this little thing yet. We lay this down flat. Come on, behave yourself and go flat. And then that should close up there. Okay? So then we want this laid down flat, so we just flatten it. And if you've done these folds here, this fold in the middle of this should line up with your diagonal that came down through there. And you want to just get your edges crispy, nice and crispy. And then we fold that up to the middle. Now that looks like an envelope already, but there are a few more things on this envelope to make it look different. First thing is we're going to bend this backwards to where the middle of this is, and we're going to push that down. Okay, and that should line us up nicely with those two edges. Down, 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 down. And now we're going to flip this one out, and it should fit right in here. Flip this one out, and it should fit right in there. Easy peasy so far, right? Since this is scrapbook paper, you'll have to make your folds really crisp or it won't lay down flat. So I just go over them with my thumb, or you can go over them with a bone folder, whatever you prefer. You just want to make those as nice and crispy as you can. Crispy creases. Okay. Now, how far down do we fold this part? Well, we can fold this any amount that we want, but we don't want to fold it. We don't want to fold it to there. We want to fold it beyond this little square, because the little square is going to catch it once we have it folded properly, and we want to tuck it in. So we're going to fold that down somewhere. Again, I'm trying to make my diagonal here fit with the diagonal that, you know, that was, so that it will be straight up and down. I want to make it straight across here. So to make that square, I have this diagonal fold there. Now I fold this back until it gives me clearance of the middle of this. And then we'll just refold this to the inside. And now we have our envelope by tucking this under the little square. You, of course, have folds on the outside from the diagonals that you did originally. Okay, so I'm going to do that again, but this time I'm just going to put little lines on there because I didn't want my diagonals to show. So I'm just going to use my pencil, and of course I can erase these later. But it might be easier for you to see with my diagonals drawn on there. I'm just using this paper under here so that you can see a contrast instead of white on white, because it makes it a little more difficult with the white on white. Okay, so what did we do? We took the corner, folded it to the middle, and this is origami paper, so it will work better than that scrapbooking paper. Took the corner, folded it to the middle. I leave a little gap because just in case you have extra papers that are, you know, this still, even though it's origami paper and actually a lot less thickness than the scrapbooking paper, it still will have a little bit of thickness to it. Okay, again, we fold this we can fold it exactly to the edge here, all the way up, or we can fold it almost to it. It really doesn't matter. Somewhere in between, somewhere close to it being even with these 2 points. Okay? Just want to make sure that point hits the diagonal that we had there. So now we take this and we fold this edge along this fold, and we want it to meet where that fold meets this edge here. We're going to crease that, and it's going to come out through there. Now we do the same for the other side. This edge, we're folding along that crease. And where this, whoops, and I don't think I got that one quite straight, did I? And this should meet right where the diagonal was. So both of your folds should meet where that diagonal was, and you can see that they do. Right there, right there. Okay? So then we took, and let's make sure that this one's crispy so I can see which one I'm using, since I had to fold that little guy twice, almost twice. I'll make sure this one's crispy too. Just use my thumbnail. My thumbnail gets a little tired of that though sometimes. Okay, so now we're going to fold this edge along that crease, but just to the fold. So from this corner here to where that fold came in. See where that fold came in right there? And you can actually do this fold back if you want. I mean, but it'll do it automatically when we pick up that little square. This edge to this, along this crease. Whoops, not right. Yes. But only up to where the fold is. And there's where the fold was. See where the fold is? And then we do this down to the point down. This is making that little box that you see. Okay. So, now we wanted to flip this out and let this go underneath the, and they'll just refold automatically. Come on. Of course I say you will, and then of course you misbehave and don't. Okay. Flip this out, flip this down, and there we have it. And then when we come up here, then when we have that done, we just squish this box, and it should meet there, and it should meet there. And then we scritch that along. And this print is not totally on the square of it, so it makes it a little confusing. Now we just fold that up. Come on, quit misbehaving. And then we fold this box back. And it should fold exactly where this should meet here, this should meet here, and it should be straight across. Just when you squish that. Okay, so then to take this, we just, you know, eyeball it wherever you want to have it. Come down through here. And you just want that straight across. And we don't have a diagonal we can see on this side. So we're just going to kind of make sure that it's, you know, like it looks like it's diagonal and straight. And if you don't know that, I mean, you can actually measure it to see. We got 3 and a little bit more than 3/4. And 3 and a little bit more than 3/4. I got it straight. Yay! Okay, so where do we fold this? We fold this back so it's even with this fold that was here. See the fold that made the box when we folded it backwards. So we want that even with that fold. Maybe just a little less so it'll fit under there. So you see what I'm saying? This fold right here. We fold that back to there. And then when we fold this the other direction, it will slip under there. Oh, I know, I forgot one step, sorry. Before we do that, we have to pull these little guys out and make them tip under here like this. And of course, why did you not? Well, you're not working because you refolded at the bottom. Here. Okay, we're going to make that guy work like he's supposed to because he didn't fold right here. Here we go. There you are. Maybe I didn't fold you back far enough. Come here, you. Scooting him down a little bit, the little box, because it didn't want these guys to go under here. You have to have these guys go under here to make it look like an envelope. Or if they don't work, and this is origami paper, you're supposed to be working better. Scoot down a little bit. There we go. Trying to make difficulties for me. Okay, so when that is correct, which we just, what we did was to instead of folding it, we scooted it, we moved it down a little bit, moved this way a little bit. See, that could go under there when we had it up a little too far that way, so we moved it back toward the bottom of the envelope a little bit, so that it would have more room for those side things to come in. Because they look better. It looks better when those are on the top instead of underneath. I guess you could leave them underneath, but it wouldn't look as nice. So then we're just going to tuck this guy underneath here. If you'll go, and there we have it. So we have another origami envelope. Sometimes you have to squash a little extra if it isn't going your way. Just give it move it just a smidge and squash that fold so that it actually goes the way that it's supposed to go. I don't like that one that much. I would take this one probably and put a something on top of that square so that it would look nicer. Let's see how big that square is. There. So I'm gonna freeform cut it. See if that'll work. And let's see how tall it is. To there. And if you don't get it the right first time, all you do is you cut it a little bit smaller, and then you'll have a little margin around it. And that's what I didn't do, so we've got a little smaller here. I like that it matches the color there. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm going to get my art glitter glue and give it a little bit of glueness around it. Well, of course, my art glitter glue chooses now to be stuck up. We'll fix it. Could just use, what is that called? Glue stick. Yeah, glue stick will work. Get a piece of scrap paper. Of course, I have no scrap paper handy. This will work. Just any old piece of scrap paper. My glue stick's done too. What more can go wrong, right? Okay, we're just going to put that on there, and that's going to be a beautiful little envelope with an extra little thing on its little square so that you can see where this square is. And there you have it. Origami envelope. I do have some other origami envelopes that actually are better used for opening up. You know, I mean, you can glue this in your junk journal or your regular journal, and then you can open it up and write on all the spaces in here. But of course, this one's a little more difficult because once you've unfolded this little box, then it's maybe confusing to fold it back. But the other ones that are in my YouTube videos, they're a little easier to fold and refold, so they might be usable as journaling space inside a, secret journaling space in a journal. Yep, if you're going to write your diary. Okay, that's all I have for now. Have fun, craft a lot, stay sane. That's all I can say. Thank you for watching. Hope that you liked this video. If you did, you can give me a thumbs up. You can comment, subscribe, any of that other stuff. Thanks. Bye.